They're great. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the barbershop. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all so much. Did I tell you that recently? Love you so much. We're doing a tier list breakdown of the OU tier of all the Pokemon in the OU tier. Why? Because it is March 30th, and in a couple days, a new tiering will come out for March into April for all the OU usage stats and all that. We'll have to cover that as well. But today we are here on tierlists.com, and I want to show you the undisputable, official, one and only tier list for all the Pokemon in the OU tier. Let's get into it. Yes, good Anakin. We have all the Pokemon here from Zoroark through Quaquaval. Quaquaval and Zoroark, and all these Pokemon. There are 39 currently in the OU tier, and I want to break them down for you. I don't want to waste too much time. I don't want to waste your time, so let's just hop right into it. I'll pick this one. Breloom. Okay, so we have S through D tier. Breloom is good. You know who's also really good is Torkoal. I think Torkoal is probably A. Torkoal is just that good. Torkoal is so good. One of the very few rapid spinners, and he sets up Sun for all those photosynthesis users. The only Sun setter. Let's grab Torkoal. Let's put him in A, almost S, but definitely an A tier Pokemon. And I am going to try to rate them from like per tier, and then also kind of put them in order in the tier. So we'll have the very best at the very top of S, and the very worst at the very bottom of D. Now, these are all just rated towards each other, ranking towards each other in OU tier. Now, do I think there are Pokemon down in UU that are even better than some of these A? Yes, I do. So, but you guys get what I'm saying. Let's put Torkoal here at the top of A tier. Breloom is very good. Breloom is better than it's ever been, I think. Maybe, except for maybe Gen 5 or whenever it was like really hitting. It's really good. And Mach Punch is so powerful. There's such limited priority. You know, you've got Aqua Jet here on Azu, you've got Ice Shard here, you've got the Broken D-Knight. While we're speaking to Broken D-Knight, let's go ahead and put him in S tier. What a noob cannon. What a try-hard Pokemon to use. Now, it does use your Terra. You Terrasilize into that normal type and click Banded E-Speed. That's all you have to do these days. If that were this Pokemon, I'd be going round 1 in a draft, but that's what it does. It's a noob cannon. It's embarrassing, but sometimes he's heavy-duty boots and Terra Fire with DD and Fire Punch and Roost and a defensive set. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, S tier Pokemon, one of the best Terra users, one of the best offensive cleaner sweepers in the back with Banded E-Speed Terra normal. It can OHKO a lot of things. This is A tier for sure. Breloom, man, B or C tier. It's good. You can use it. You can put it on a lot of teams if you know how to use it. You know, it's one of the spores. You can put things to sleep. A couple other Pokemon can put things to sleep. Where's Amoonguss? Is Amoonguss not in here? There's Amoonguss. Speaking of putting things to sleep, I think Amoonguss is maybe even better than Breloom. I'm gonna put Amoonguss in B tier, if not A. I think Amoonguss is great. Amoonguss checks like a lot of the meta here, the OU tier. I mean, it checks a lot of things. It does. Try it on your team if you need like a poison type or a bulky grass type. Great with Regenerator, one of the best abilities in the Spore. It gets Clear Smog, it gets Foul Play. Really cool move in not Bulldoze. What's the ground move? The Barn, where it does double damage. Yeah, so that's pretty good for Gholdengo, even though you can't put it to sleep. But I'll put it in B tier because I don't think it's quite A tier. I think Breloom's probably B tier as well. To be 100 with you. Let's grab this guy. Let's grab Toxapex C tier. It's bulky, it's good, but there are other Pokemon that can OHKO this thing. Now, if you play it right, yeah, it can set up like Toxic Spikes, it can Toxic you, and it's got Regenerator as well, but it's not the same old Pex it used to be. It doesn't get Scald, doesn't get Knockoff. I think it still gets Toxic Spikes, which are great, but it doesn't have the same weapon and arsenal that it used to. Maybe B tier. I'll put it in C, though. I can see Pex even maybe falling down to UU eventually once people like get over it. Just get over Pex, guys. C tier Pokemon. Corviknight, mandatory, extremely important. One of the only defoggers, the only flying and steel type. U-turn defog. It does not get knock, but it does have some cool options. It can set up and bulk up, things like this. It gets power trip, some weird kinky sets like that. I'll put it in A tier. I couldn't put it in B. It's excellent. I think it's better than, I put it pretty similar to skill power and as Torkoal, but I might put it above. It's one of the best, actually. I'll put it above Torkoal. A tier Pokemon, for shout. Hisui and Zoroark, let's put it in C tier. It's great. It's just too frail. I love the mind games. If you're really good at Pokemon and you know what they're doing and you're inside your opponent's head, you know when they're sending it out and you kind of have an idea. And plus, you know, it's usually going to be like Nasty Plot, or it's going to be Specs, or it's usually hitting on the special side, but if you have something like Clodsire or like another special wall like Ting-Lu or this guy, you can check it, right? And then once you know what it's doing, is it dead? You can outspeed it with a Scarfer. It gets blown back by priority. It's so frail. If it just had a little more bulk, it'd be even better. A really cool Pokemon. I don't think it's bad. I think it's great. And it can do some Schwarkin to you. So almost B tier. I'll probably put it a little bit above Pex. I don't know. They're close. They're close. I don't think it's bad by any means. I think it could fall to UU. I'll put it below Pex because I think it could fall to UU. Really cool. I love the typing. Ghost and normal, very rare. How exclusive. Very exclusive. Let's grab this guy. Frickin' broken. Iron Moth. I think so good. I love it. I want to put it in A tier. I want to put it in A tier below Corviknight, and I want to put it above Spinny Torque because it's just that good. I love its speed tier at 110. I love its power at 140. It's got such great coverage. I just did a short on this guy. If you haven't seen it, go watch that short because YouTube doesn't push out my shorts anymore ever since they changed the way they monetize shorts at the beginning of February. Thanks YouTube. Thanks YouTube for taking me from millions of views on my shorts to just a few hundred. So kind of you. Oh God, how sweet. Sweet of you. Sweet of you, YouTube. I will put him in A tier here. Iron Moth, a phenomenal Pokemon. Really cool sweeper set with agility access. Very few things get speed boosting moves anymore. And it hits so incredibly hard, especially if you put it in the sun. Terra Fire, Fire Blast, Overheat, everything gets O-Code. Speaking of things to get O-Code, this is not one of them, Ting-Lu. I'm going to have to go ahead and put Ting-Lu, maybe A tier, but maybe high B. High B for Ting-Lu. I love my weakness policy set, Ting-Lu. If you haven't watched my videos, guys, what are you doing? Go watch all my videos. Drop likes and comments on them. Y'all are going crazy. Y'all are missing out. Weakness policy, Ting-Lu goes crazy. Choice band, Ting-Lu is good too, but of course, you can be Rocky Helmet, Leftovers. It is a phenomenal Pokemon. It's hard, it's tough to put it in B. You just don't see it used as much as you used to. I don't know why. You'd think you'd see it even more with the banishment of all these brokens, like all the broken bands, like Chin Pao and all the other things. But if it may be an A tier Pokemon, I'd say it's probably better than these two, close to those two. Maybe it's top of B. I don't think it's quite as good as these guys though. I don't. So maybe bottom of A. There's so many Pokemon there. It's so good. Probably bottom of A, guys, because it sets up spikes. It's got Ruination. Hits really hard. And with EQ, and then of course Whirlwind. But you can taunt it. If you taunt it, you get shut down. Shut down if you get taunted. But really great Pokemon. Probably gonna put him at bottom of A. Probably. Amoonguss can almost be up in A too. But both these guys are so good. I'll put him in top of B. Top of B. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. Meowscarada. High A. I don't think it's the best Pokemon. I'm gonna put him high A, maybe above Corviknight. Like the fastest Pokemon in the game right now, after like Dragonite or Dragapult, other like really fast things in OU. But a great Pokemon. It gets all the hazards except rocks. Great momentum and U-turn. No setup and no recovery, but knockoff is great, U-turn is great, and flower trick is such a good move. Definitely A, almost S tier for Meowscarada. It hits really hard with a choice band. It's great as a Scarfer. It gets sucker punch too, so definitely high A. I like where we're going so far. Speaking of that, let's grab this guy. He's up here. He's here. Oh no. He's probably up there. He's probably here. He's probably high B. What's his name? Ceruledge, that is. I'm gonna put Ceruledge up here in high B. I think he's great Pokemon, right? Gets that Flash Fire ability, also gets that speed boosting weak armor ability. So this guy, if you get a Bulk Up or a Swords Dance up and you hit it once and it lives with a Focus Sash or with Endure or just resist something, right? You U-turn out on it, forget that it gets that speed boost. It can sweep you very easily. Bitter Blade is really annoying to go up against if you get a +2. Of course, there's the Spadef bulk up set. That's great. Is weak to rocks. It can run boots. Choice band is great. Gets Shadow Sneak. You can of course tear into a fairy type, a fighting type, hit close combat. Really great Pokemon. It's hanging in there. And, it's even in the face of Dirge. Where's Big Dirge? Where's Big Dirge? There's Dirge. Ghost and I think Dirge is the superior Ghost and Fire type. Dirge is amazing. I think Dirge is almost S tier. I'm gonna put Dirge up here. I'm gonna put Dirge right here. I'm gonna put Dirge high A right above Meowscarada. Meowscarada and Dirge are very similar in viability, in my opinion. I think Dirge is a little bit better. Dirge is so good because it gets recovery and unaware, and Torch Song is so good. Will-O-Wisp and its terrestrialization options are so good. But I think Ceruledge is great Pokemon. Swords Dance is scary. I don't use it much because Maybe I haven't used it enough to get real good with it, but it doesn't scare me that much, right? Because it's not the fastest Pokemon, but if it does get up a Swords Dance and gets that speed boost, it can sweep you. But that's why there are unaware Pokemon and other things that can blow it back somehow. So speaking of that, let's put Dirge up here again. Terra to a water or a fairy type, Will-O-Wisp things. You got Hex, you got Slack Off. High A for Skeledirge, almost S. We'll leave it up there. We'll put it right next to Meowscarada. You pick which is better. You tell me. Let's grab Orthworm. Orthworm is so underrated. Maybe not. Shed-Tail is so good. I'm gonna put it. Oh, God. I'll put it right here. It's the best check in the game to Baxcalibur. Because it's immune to ground with a Earth Eater ability. The only Shed-Tailer left gets rocks. It can set up coils and things like this, hit extra hard with heavy slams and body presses. Rocks up, Shed-Tails out. It's really about all you need with it. It can run a Rocky Helmet. It can run that Citrus Berry set. I think it is really good at coming in, and it is able to reliably get rocks up and reliably get a Shed-Tail off. Because it's so bulky on the physical side. I think it's very viable. I think it might even stay in OU. It might be, I'm gonna say keep it mid B tier. I think it's probably better than Ceruledge. And yeah, I think it's looking pretty solid so far. Maybe Amoonguss is better than Ceruledge. Amoonguss is so good. Amoonguss is so good. But we'll keep it around there. I don't think it's quite as good as like Moth or, yeah. I don't think it's quite as good, but we'll put him right there, high B. I think it's a really great Pokemon. Love to see it. Love to see Orthworm up here. I think he's a fair and honest Pokemon too. You know what he's going to do. And you can taunt it, shut it down, or you can Oko it. It's pretty frail on the special side, but y'all know how it is. Garchomp. I see you, Garchomp. Garchomp is so underrated. Garchomp is A tier, you guys. It's so bulky on the physical side. Fast at 102 speed, troll speed, and it's such a great Terra user. It can Swords Dance up, turn into a fire type, a steel type, pure ground type, a fairy type, and just run through you with leftovers, life orb. It can of course be a bulky Rocky Helmet defensive set, Dragon Tail, setting up spikes. Now it did lose Scale Shot, so it can't really run that same super hyper offensive sweeping set that it did in Gen 8, but I think it's low A tier. I think it's up here. I think, yeah, I may even put it above Torkoal, to be honest with you. I think Garchomp is I think it's certainly an A tier Pokemon. It can be, like I said, defensive or offensive, and loves hazards, and it can phase you out without being taunted. Great Pokemon. You can Scarf it as well. You don't see much Scarf or Band Chomp anymore because there are better like banded users, I think. But I think that's a good spot for him right there. I think I don't know. He may even be like higher. I don't know if he's above Corviknight, but Corviknight's so crucial and so viable. But definitely an A tier Pokemon. I think he's probably better than this guy. I think I like where he's at right now. Okay, let's grab something else. Let's grab, who do we want? Pelipper. You're just chilling there waiting, Pelipper. Pelipper is so much better than people think. It's so good, not just for setting up rain. It's good as a Pokemon in general. Just the water flying typing. It checks like everything. You can run bulky on this, physically bulky, specially bulky. This thing is like the only Pokemon that gets Roost, Defog, Knockoff. So, is that right? No, there's no way it gets Roost and Knockoff. Let's do a check. Pelipper. You don't get, do you get Defog? Does not get Defog, but it does get U-Turn, Roost, and Defog. No, not Defog. Knockoff. And then like Hurricane, all these moves, right? So excellent Pokemon. You can Specs it in the rain. Now it did lose Weather Ball, unfortunately, but it can still hit you hard with like a Surf or a Hydro Pump. Phenomenal Pokemon. It hits really hard with Specs. It can of course be Boots. It can of course be the Damp Rock. So it's a great Pokemon. It's a B tier. I'm going to put it right here. It's phenomenal. It's better than these guys, I think. I'm going to put it in B tier, and I like it right there. I like it right there. Is it better than Breloom? Breloom's really good. Breloom's really good. Might be like this. I don't know, but Amoonguss is so good, actually. I'm going to put it like that. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put it like that. Something like that. I think low B, maybe high B, but it's a great Pokemon. I'm not gonna call it the best Pokemon ever. It's not as good as like this or this, but I mean, shoot, it's really good. It's tough. It's tough. Is it better than Breloom? You guys tell me. Is it better than Breloom? I don't know. Let's put it below Breloom. Put it below Breloom. It's a great Pokemon though. Very scary. Okay. What else do we have? Let's grab a banger. Let's grab a Gholdengo. Where are you, Gholdengo? S tier, maybe. High A or S. It's still Guys, it was on the radar for a long time. Possible suspect test to be banned. Didn't end up getting banned. Hasn't even suspect tested, but that ability, good as gold blocking all status. This guy being a spin blocker, defog blocker, and you know, you can't taunt it. It's such a great scarfer with trick. Speaking of that, it can't be tricked because that's a status move. You can haze it if if it starts setting up Nasty Plot, which it also gets access to. The Make It Rain move is great. I kind of almost like Flash Cannon, but Make It Rain is so good. Shadow Ball's there, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt. It has the coverage it needs to OHKO everything, unless you're a Toxapex, or unless you're a Clodsire. Go watch my last video. I might put it in S tier, low S, because it's that good. I can't really see myself not putting Gholdengo in S tier because it is that good. And if you build it right, it can be defensive with recover as well. I gotta put it low S tier, you guys. I gotta do it. Speaking of S tier, Azumarill is almost S tier, you guys. You're tripping if you don't think it is. It's definitely A. I'm gonna put it right here. Azumarill is so good. Still got that really scary belly drum set with Jet. Now, it did lose knockoff. It did lose superpower, I believe. Did it lose superpower? Maybe it lost superpower. Azumarill. Superpower. No, I still got it. It lost knock though. Lost knock. But so what you want to run on it now? You can run superpower, but it doesn't need it. It got the ice spinner though, which is great. And you can even run double edge. But ice spinner, play rough, liquidation, aqua jet on a bandit set or on a belly drum set. Also, it's such a great AV user, you guys. Still such a good AV user. Hard checks, walking wake, and the water fairy type. It's the only water fairy in the game. Unfortunately, it hits physically, so it can be burned. I'd really like to see something like a Primarina come back. I think Primarina would be really strong in OU right now, but I do think it's an A Pokemon, almost S tier. I'm gonna put it like right here, probably right around here, you guys, because it's that good. It can check you and OHKO you. I definitely I see it as an A tier Pokemon. I'll put it right there. Azumarill's that good. Maybe I'm overhyping it, but I think Azumarill's that good. Speaking of Pokemon that are that good, Baxcalibur is it's either high A or low S. Baxcalibur is so good, you guys. One of the best dragons and one of the best pseudo legendaries we've ever had. It's got great bulk. That speed is great. It can run. It hits that 300 speed, right? So if you are Jolly, that outspeeds all those 299s, those base 100s that are not running Jolly or Timid. So a really chill speed. And speaking of that, Great Tusk does that as well, hits 300. I definitely see Baxcalibur as one of the scariest Pokemon in the game. I think this thing could almost be suspect tested. It loves to Terrasilize into a Fairy type and click Dragon Dance. It loves to Terrasilize into a pure Ice type to get that super boost on Ice Shards and Icicle crashes, especially Icicle Spears. It loves to run that loaded dice, Terra Ice, Icicle Spirit, Ice baby set. He's a great Pokemon. I'll put it at the very top of A tier. Almost S, you guys. Almost S. It is weak to rocks, but it can be banded. You know, it can be Swords Dance. It can be loaded dice. It can be a lot of things. Covert Cloak, heavy duty boots, assault frickin' vest, scarf it if you want. It's that good. Great Terra user. It's like immune to like Rotom, basically. Rotom can trick it, but that doesn't help. You know, you're just gonna start blowing things back anyway. Glaive Rush, so powerful. What a great banded user. Almost S tier, you guys. Almost S tier. Gonna put it in the very top of A. You know who's not quite as good as they say he is? Rotom-Wash. What are you doing up there at like the top number 8, number 7? Number 6 in the most used Pokemon, top 10 OU, Rotom-Wash. You've gone crazy. Now, great Pokemon, and it does check a lot of things if done right. I put it in B tier because it lost some things, right? It doesn't get Pain Split anymore. It can still rest, but I think it's probably down here. I don't know. It's good, guys, but it doesn't get defog. Give it defog back and it'll be phenomenal again. But it does get still Nasty Plot, Discharge, Thunder Wave. People are just running that really trolly leftovers protect set. That seems kind of dumb because if you outplay that, right, you can like set up on that and you can bring in something like Baxcalibur or Amoonguss hard checks. There are other Pokemon that check it real hard. Clodsire. You know, it's free setup opportunity for Pult. I'm going to put it in beer. I'm going to put it right here in beer tier, right by Amoonguss, actually, probably around here. I'll put it right above Breloom, I guess. They're both, I mean, it's good, right? But it's not like top 10 OU usage good like it is currently. I don't know what he's doing there. I understand it's like a slap on a team, but at the very highest level, you don't see much Rotom. It's kind of like a filler Pokemon. Now, with that said, there are very few electric type Pokemon. There's like, that's the only one. There's the only one in OU. So I understand wanting to hit the flying types, wanting to hit the other water types, wanting to hit things like Dondozo. But even then, like, you're going to need to be like Specs. Of course, you can trick it with Scarf. But if you nasty plot, you know, all these unaware users, it doesn't matter. So it's really just a defensive pivot. It's good. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to put it right here. Probably right there, right above Ceruledge, I guess, right? Is that fine? That's fine. It's still a great Pokemon, but it's not like up here where people think it is. It's not. All right, moving on. Let's grab, who do we like? Ooh, lots of bangers left. Let's grab this guy is C tier. Great Pokemon. It's the only grass and psychic type in the game, and it hits really hard. We just need another electric terrain setter so that Iron Leaves can do something and make it's 104 speed, right? At least give it 105 or 106 or at least 108 like the previous Swords of Justice. They did him dirty. They did him so dirty, but it's a really cool Pokemon. It can set up and it can hurt you pretty hard, and it does get pretty good coverage. And it can break through your team if you don't prepare correctly for it. But something like Meowscarada, it's just so weak. It's just going to U-turn on you. I'm going to put it down here at the bottom of C tier. I mean, it can definitely sweep you. You guys, oh, hey, just check this video out of me. We're sweeping. We got swooped by Iron Leaves. I see it falling down to UU pretty soon, guys. No one's using it. Booster Energy is great, but there are other better Booster Energy users. You can Terrasilize, but there's other better Terra users. There's faster Pokemon that hit harder. It does hit hard, but Psychic type is a really good type offensively right now. It hits a lot of poison types that are there, but it can get outsped by a lot of things, or things can gobble it up, right? A lot of these things can just gobble it up and annihilate it, right? Look at everything above it. Just a lot of things above it. Gobble, or well, not gobble. Gobble, because gobble, 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 gobble. Gobble, 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 gobble. Okay, you guys get it. Okay, moving on. It's good Pokemon, but maybe it's here. But it's probably gonna drop. Great Tusk. Either A or S. Where do you want to be, Great Tusk? I gotta put it in S tier. It's a try-hard. I love Great Tusk. I love its design. I love its typing. I love its move pool. I love the way you can build it. I love that it can be abandoned. I love that it can fit on Sun teams. I love that it gets rocks and spin. I love that it gets knockoff, headlong rush, CC, ice spinner. I love all these moves. I love that you can Terrasilize it and it's not a waste of your Terra because it's that bulky and it hits that hard. I love that the base 87 speed after a rapid spin, it outspeeds like everything. I love the way it's built. I love Great Tusk. I played Violet. I wish we would have got Great Tusk, but it is a great Pokemon. It's phenomenal competitively. You can throw a sash on it. It gets a lot of cool moves, you guys, because Donphan has such an amazing move pool. But I got to put it in low S and maybe even above Gholdengo. Maybe not, nah. But it's perfectly built, you guys. It can eat any one hit or two on the physical side, and really reliable at getting rocks up. I love that you can build it defensively with body press as well. Knockoff is there, like I said. So I gotta put it in low S. One of the best Pokemon in the game. That's why it's the #1 most used Pokemon in the game. Yeah, we'll put it there at the bottom of S. Phenomenal Pokemon. Let's grab. Who do we like here? What do we think? Hydreigon. Okay, Hide, people are trying to use Hide. It doesn't scare me. It's just not fast enough. It still gets some offensive threats, weapons in like Nasty Plot and Dragon Dance. I think it can still U-turn. I know it lost Roost, I believe. I'm a little confused about what it did lose because I know Iron Jugs is there. And it didn't get the same weapons in like Dragon Dance and Nasty Plot that Hide has. But Hide is great. It's more used in VGC, but here in singles, it can Terrasilize Pure Dark type, Fairy type, Steel type, Poison type. It's cool. It can catch you off guard, but you know, there are things that outspeed it and blow code it. You blow code back by an Iron Valiant, you blow code back by U-turn and other dragons that outspeed you. It's good. I see it maybe dropping down to UU, you guys. I feel like people who are using Hide, they're either really good with it and it can be a Scarfer, it can be a Specs user, or it's kind of trash, right? So it's one of those weird Pokemon. It can fit on your team great. You know, Hydreigon and Aegislash used to be the invincible core. And I think it plus Gholdengo is still really solid, but this game's so crazy now with terrestrialization and with all the insanity going on. So the power creep, and with it losing some things, I see it being good. Obviously, it's still great, you guys, but I don't think it's D tier. I think I have to put it, man, I hate to do this to it. I don't think it's much. I mean, maybe Rotom should be lower. Do I think it's as good, better than Ceruledge? Maybe I'll put it low B. I'll put it low B. I can't disrespect it that hard. It's not, maybe Pex is higher too, but nah, I'll put it low B. I'll put it right there, low B. Hey, comment. You know who's not low B? Dragapult. I think Dragapult is S. I think this is a perfect place for Pult, right next to like Baxcalibur. They're both so good. Pult being the fastest in the game, can run mixed sets. Specs, Draco gets U-turn. Phenomenal Pokemon. I got to put it at the bottom of S tier, right below. I think Great Tusk. I think is fair. I think it's perfect. You guys already know what it does. It's you know, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Thunder, Thunderbolt. It can fit on rain teams. Infiltrator is such a great ability. Clear Body is such a great ability. And it loves getting up Dragon Dance, Dragon Darts. Obviously, can get up substitutes. It still gets Will-O-Wisp, Hex, Thunderbolt, Disable, things like this. Didn't lose anything like Hyde did. So one of the best Pokemon. You can slap it on every team. You see it all over the ladder, high ladder, low ladder. Definitely Dragapult is an S tier Pokemon, if not the very, very best, to be honest with you. This thing is an absolute beast. But we'll put it right there. Is it better than Gholdengo? You tell me. They're very close. Gholdengo's stupid and cheating. But I'm going to put it right here, maybe above Tusk, maybe above Tusk, maybe not above Tusk. We'll call him tied. We'll put it in the S tier though. Let's see. Greninja's been sitting here waiting. Greninja's so good, guys. It's better than you think, unless you already know how good it is. I think Greninja may be low A or high B. I'm put it at the very top of B right now. It unfortunately doesn't get that battle bond anymore. Protean is still good, but not as good. It got a pretty big nerf, right? Still gets all, like the hazard spikes, T spikes, U-turn. You know, it still gets a lot of great coverage. Low kick on the physical side. Skunk shot, things like this. Still has pretty cool access to the water shuriken. You can even loaded dice water shuriken. It still appreciates specs. You could scarf it. Being 122 speed, it does get just outsped by Meowscarada, but it does outspeed other things like Roaring Moon and Cinderace at 119. Still a great lead user, and again, a great Pokemon in the back. And Water Dark is a very good typing, both kind of defensively and definitely it's good offensively. Ice Beam is there, and Greninja, it's always been great. I think it's top of B tier is where it kind of deserves to be right now. There's so many other threats, but I wish it could hit a little harder. I wish it got Calm Mind or something like that so that it could actually break through stuff like Toxapex or like, I don't know. There are things that check it, right? This is scary. This checks it. Kind of checks it. This checks it. Meowscarada outspeeds. Backseats one. It sets up on it. Like things. And there's so much sun, right? Where water's kind of goobed. But it's still a great, cool Pokemon. I got to put it in B. Probably put it at the top of B. You guys let me know what you think. Still a great Pokemon. Gets Taunt, I believe. Yeah, Taunt. Sets up spikes. Can U-turn. Really cool Pokemon. But it's pretty frail still, right? If you get like a setup, it's just going to get nighttime. Good night. There's Greninja. What else? What else is broken? Well, we're leaving a lot of broken things. A lot of broken things left. Let's grab this. I hate this Pokemon. Die. That is Glimmora. Glimmora, I hate you. It's good. I hate how good it is. I'm putting it in B tier right here. That's where it deserves to be. It's good. It's got really good special coverage, and it hits really hard, and it's got good bulk, not phenomenal bulk, but actually like 70s, 80s, mid 80s and up. It's got a really trolley bulk speed, bulk tier, but it's got a really trolley speed tier as well. He can hit like 298 or something, and its ability that auto noob setting up spikes every time it takes a physical hit, setting up a T-spike. That's so dumb. Who wrote this? Who made this? That's so cheap and broken. I'll never use this Pokemon. I wouldn't have fun, honestly, using it. It's good, but like you gotta taunt it, or you gotta like have something like a Clodsire or something, a grounded poison type to come in and absorb those spikes, or have like a Boots spinner, spin everything away. Glimmora plus Gholdengo. day one tech, obviously. I hate this Pokemon. Don't want to talk about it. I want to throw up talking about it. It's good. It's got great coverage, and it sets up all the hazards. Mortal Spin, it can remove hazards. I hate it. I hate it. Go away. I gotta give it some respect for being good, but I wish it went away. I wish it went away. Okay, what else is great? What else is great? Nothing in the D tier yet. These are all good Pokemon. These are all good Pokemon. Is anything D tier? Is this D tier? Yeah, we saw it, Blunder. We saw it, Joey. We saw that crazy Iron Defense, Calm Mind, Weakness Policies, Stored Power set with the speed, with the weak armor. We saw it. We saw it. It's great. I got swept by it once. Is it worse than these guys, though? Is it that good, though? It's the only fire psychic type in the game. A very cool Pokemon. Love its design. I love it. I've got respect for it. I don't think it's as good as Ceruledge. Don't think it's as good as Ceruledge. I think it's as good as Hyde. Maybe. Probably not. Sorry, I'm disrespecting Hyde. I'm just disrespecting Hyde. But fairies are too good. It just gets OHKO'd too easily. This is good. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here. It doesn't scare me when I see it. It's pretty slow, 75 base speed. It doesn't have the best defenses, and there are a lot of things that just annihilate it. Annihilate it. So this doesn't check it, but this does. This outspeeds out. Annihilate it. So everything annihilates it. I'm gonna put it right here. Put it right here. Put the bottom of C. Somebody's got to be at the bottom of C. I don't know who it's gonna be. You guys tell me. Okay, who else is broken? These are all broken. Let's just go here. Iron Valiant. I'll put Iron Valiant right here. I think it's even better than Great Tusk. Maybe I'll put Iron Valiant right here, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm all over Iron Valiant's butt sack because that's just how it's got to be. Okay, I love it. I think it could possibly get suspect tested and banned. Obviously, you know what it does. Insane speed tier at 116, 130 attack, 120 special attack, insane fairy fighting typing. Gotta love it. Gotta love its design. Gotta love its incredible setup, access, calm mind, swords dance. It hits you on both sides. Such good move pool. That's all you need. What can be said? It can run any move. Now, it doesn't get recovery. It doesn't get momentum. It doesn't get hazard or hazard removal, but it's an offensive threat weapon. You can specs it. You can band it. You can scarf it. You can, of course, booster energy it. I love running Calm Mind, Terra Electric, Terra Psychic, Terra Dark, right? Gets knockoff, gets so many cool things. Such an offensive weapon. It's a get out of jail free card with that speed boost, that booster energy in the back. You don't even have to terrestrialize this thing. Quad resists Sucker Punch. It's tough to take it out after it gets up that photosynthesis or that Quark Drive speed boost with the booster energy. Love it. I'm gonna put it even above. I just think it's so good, you guys. I know some people are like, oh, Iron Valiant is not that good. Roaring Moon's better. Okay. I'm gonna put it almost above Gholdengo. I just love this Pokemon. Maybe I'm on its butt sack. I just love this Pokemon. So I'll put it right here. I'm gonna put it right after D-Knight. Guys, I think it's that good. I think it could get suspect tested. I think it could get suspect tested. You heard it here first if it did. Speaking of things I think can get suspect tested, Dondozo. Guys, let me just say this one time to you about Dondozo. Dondozo is ruining the game of Pokemon, and it has been for a long time. We're learning how to handle Dondozo, but if played right, this Pokemon is very top tier in what it can do. It's so bulky. What is that HP? Like 1 billion? Dondozo? All water types over here. All water types are still so good. 1 billion HP, 412 defense, and that Spadef is not bad if you build it Spadef, right? And you just start running Curse? Is it Curse? Or Polka? Yeah, it's Curse. You run that Curse rest set. All you need is either Wave Crash or Liquidation. And Wave Crash again, and then either Avalanche, Body Press, or Earthquake for the coverage you want to hit things like either Pex or Amoonguss or Clodsire, things like this. There are very few things that can check it. It's so bulky. And if you terrestrialize into like a fairy type or a grass type, something else, a dragon type, it is so impossible to break through with its unaware ability. It's such a troll Pokemon to use, and it shuts down all setup on both, obviously the physical side, and with the special set, it shuts you down on the special side setup. So I think it's A tier Pokemon. I can't put it better than Baxcalibur. I'm gonna put it like right here. I can't say it's S tier because these guys, it's not as good as these guys, but it shuts these guys down. It shuts all of these guys down. Name one Pokemon on here that Dondozo doesn't shut down. I mean, seriously. It shuts down every single one of these Pokemon. Unless you Terrasilize, unless you're like Choice Banded, Terragrass, Meowscarada, you want to break through it. This thing gets up one curse. Guys, it breaks, it shuts everything down. It's so annoying. I like the Pokemon, but I hate the Pokemon at the same time. I don't hate it like I hate Glimmora. Glimmora is just disgusting. If you use that Pokemon, like, please go play something else. But I'll put it like right here, bros. I want to, my heart tells me to put it up here at the bottom of S, but it's just that, it's just so broken. It can be Rocky Helmet, leftovers. I don't know where to put it, you guys. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right there. I'll put it right here. I don't know. I got to put it above Azu. Maybe right there. Oh, God, but Iron Moth is so good. I don't know where to put it, you guys. I almost want to put it in S tier. I think it's that good. I think it's that good. I'll put it right there. I think it's that good. Let's grab something that might semi-check it. This, but it doesn't. Clodsire, you're A tier Pokemon. You see Clod, you already know it. Clod is such a bulky Spadef Pokemon. Gets all the hazards, rocks, spikes, T-spikes. Gets recover, right? Gets water absorb, and it has unaware as well. It can definitely run like a curse set in the back. Poison jab, EQ, physical attacks. Then just, you know, its access to recover is so good. Very, very slow. I think at base 20 speed, but it's there just to gobble things on the special side for days, and then set up rocks and spikes, and you know what it does. That's all it does. That's all it needs to do. Running that Black Sludge item, it's really good for not being tricked. I love running Black Sludge. Unfortunately, if you do Terrasilize into something outside of a poison type, you're gonna start taking that damage, but not the ideal Terrastal user. But in an emergency, it's there. I gotta put it up here. I gotta put it right here. I'm gonna put it right above, right below Corviknight, and right above here. Love it, love it. It's gotta do that. D-Knight, oh man, am I saying it's better than what is this, Garchomp? Is it better than Garchomp? I don't know, maybe Chomp needs to be higher. I don't know. God, and Iron Moth is so good too. But yeah, I mean, it's just that good. I think it's just that good. It's good. Maybe it's kind of, maybe I'll put it right here. I'm gonna put it right here. Maybe bottom of A. Let's put it at the bottom of A, right? Because it is a little frail on the physical side. And it can, all these things it gets annihilated by, right? All these things can annihilate it. If they Terrasilize, right? You got to take into consideration like the Terrasilization, right? Who's the best Terrasilizers? All these guys are phenomenal Terra users. How good truly are they at their full potential? So there you go, bottom of A, very good. Decidueye is still good. It's interesting. I love it's the only grass ghost type. It's one of the best checks to like to Great Tusk as far as like spin blocking. Now it's weak to knockoff, but not a lot of things get knockoff. It does get recovery. It's better than I had given it credit for. It might stick around in OU. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. It does have a lot of cool tech because it has a lot of different moves. It doesn't have the best move sets. It doesn't have the best stats, I should say, but it does have a lot of cool moves and tech in those moves where it can make use of those moves. So, of those stats. So it can definitely like U-turn, it can definitely defog, knockoff. It's the only Pokemon that gets both knockoff and defog in the game, so really cool utility in this Pokemon. Shadow Sneak is there, right? You can do crazy things like lock things down with Spirit Shackle. You can taunt things. It gets Roost and Synthesis. A lot of cool tech here. I don't think, oh man, I don't think it's as good as these other guys, to be honest with you. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right above. Maybe I'm underestimating it, but all these other things seem really good, honestly, comparing it to them. I don't know, you guys. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here. I'll put it lower C. I think Iron Leaves is good, you guys. Okay, moving on. Let's do Volcarona, high A, so good. Right next to its brethren. I think it's almost basically equal to Iron Moth. I think very good. Maybe even higher, you guys. Of course, Dondozo shuts it down because Dondozo shuts down everything. But after you get a Quiver Dance up, if they don't have an unaware user or a Skeledirge on their team who is an unaware user, it can blow you back, right? It still gets that Quiver Dance and it still gets amazing Terrastilization options. Grass type, Energy Ball, Psychic type to hit Pex and the other Clodsire. And Fire, if you get up a Fiery Dance, and then if you get up a Fire Terra and hit Fire Blast, everything's getting no code. Such an amazing sweeper in the back. I gotta put it. I don't know if it's. I love Dirge. I love Meow. It's not better than Dondozo. Dondozo is just OP, and I'll put it right there. I'll put it right there. I'll put it right here. Tough. It's getting tough. Okay, let's go with Walking Wake. Good Pokemon, very scary, but there are checks to it in things like Quagsire, in things like Azu. It can get outsped by other things like this. Other things can eat it. I mean, it forces you to terrasilize a lot of times, right? So you need to like turn into a fairy type or turn into a water type so that you can eat its hit. If it's really best on Sun teams, for sure. But if you do put it on a Sun team, man, it can break you in half with that Specs, that ability to boost both speed and special attack in the Sun. You can be a Specs or a Scarf user. You could be double speed. You can be double special attack. So really, I mean, Water Dragon is so good, and you can even tear into a fairy type or into like a fire type and hit extra hard with flamethrowers that has access to. So I think it's probably maybe even better than these guys, but at the very top of B tier, or maybe at the bottom of A. Put it at the top of B tier. I think it's really good. I'll put it right there at the very top of B tier. I think these other guys are better, to be honest with you. Of course, it does get fully shut down by Dondozo because Dondozo checks everything in the game if you are running the right spread and right set. But there you go. He's cool. Garganacl, probably low S. Garganacl's so broken, and I hate this Pokemon. I love this Pokemon, but the most annoying, Salt Cure is ridiculous. I don't know why we haven't suspect tested this Pokemon yet. Salt Cure is ridiculous. This thing gets amazing sweeper ability with both Curse and Iron Defense, Body Press, and Salt Cure and Earthquake's all you need. It gets Recover, so it can slack all that off. One of the best, if not the best, Terrestrial users in the game. Water type, Grass type, Fairy type. I don't like using Water on it because it's still weak to Grass. And if you run into another Garganacl, you're going to take big damage from the other Salt Cure. Like, so Fairy and Grass beat this like in a one-on-one. But it's S tier Pokemon. Gets up those rocks. The rocks protect set, really annoying. Salt Cure protect, slack off set, so dumb. It's a noob cannon as well, you guys. And it's got that ability where you cannot status it. It can't be status, can't burn it, can't para, can't toxic. What is that? Come on, Game Freak, what is that? So try hard Pokemon. It's an easy use Pokemon. Got to put it in S tier, probably right there below Great Tusk and Dragonite, Dragapult. Yep, right there. Good job, Game Freak. Let's grab this guy. A tier Pokemon, bottom of A tier, I think. Phenomenal Pokemon. I think he's good. Maybe high B. Maybe even here. Maybe we put Iron Treads, that is. Iron Treads is probably high B. I think it's a great Pokemon. It's a really good Terrestrial user. Loves turning into like a fire type. Good with spin, good with, hazards, and a Volt Switch out. The thing is, this would be even better if there were a better electric terrain setter than Pincurchin. Like, where's Torkoal? Am I just not seeing it? Torkoal's got to be here somewhere. Torkoal. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a good Pokemon. I love its speed tier at 106. Unfortunately, that's going to even outspeed this guy. Is that right? 106? Am I tripping? What is it? Iron Treads. Yeah, 106. So good. It could be AV. It gets knockoff. Things like this. It gets Steel Roller in that terrain. All kinds of good stuff. Heavy Slam. Earthquake. Does it get Body Press? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's a great Pokemon, you guys. It's a great Pokemon. I got to put it high A, I think. Not high A. I mean, either high B. Put it right here. I'll put it right there. One below this guy. Cuphead. And one above this guy, because this guy checks Mortal Spin pretty hard. So we'll put him right there. That's a good spot for him. Maybe Greninja's a little lower. Maybe Greninja is right here, right below. I don't know. Something like that, right? Maybe Greninja's a little lower. Maybe Greninja's right here. That's fine. Okay. Hatterene is high A. Hatterene, well, mid A. Hatterene is so good if you use it right. It's a good Terra user. It can terrestrialize into a Steel type, a Fire type, an Electric type. Pure Fairy, Nuzzle, like the best move in the game. Such good ability in Magic Bounce. So hard to set up hazards on this team. Fits really well on Sun teams. And it can switch into anything. Leftovers, Rocky Helmet. It gets Healing Wish. It can use Eject Pack or Eject Button to get momentum and just still like block hazard setup. And of course, the Calm Mind set is so deadly. Calm Mind Draining Kiss with Leftovers. You can even run Trick Room with Life Orb and just like in the back, like late game pseudo Trick Room team and sweep with it. I love it. I love its design. I love its typing and Psychic Fairy. I think it deserves to be A tier, you guys. I think it deserves to be like right here next to like Garchomp. I think it's like right here. I don't know if it's better than, I'll put it right here, right above Garchomp. Is that too much? Is Hatterene better than Garchomp? I'll put it right below Garchomp. That's a good spot for it. Is Hatterene better than Azu? I can't say that. I cannot say that. I think Azu's that good. I'll put it right there. Great Pokemon, you know, very high, like mid-high A tier. Can slap it on any team. Psychic type and Fairy type are both so good offensively. It's bulky. Love it. Great ability. Troll ability. Let's grab Quaquaval. Quaquaval is so much better than you guys think. I keep saying that about everything, but Quaquaval it's an A tier Pokemon. I'm putting it at the bottom of A tier, you guys, because its sweeping capability. Now, it does get completely group shut down by Dondozo, and let's just assume that that's how it's going to be the case on every Pokemon, because Dondozo does shut down every Pokemon. It's just what it does. It's just what it does. Annoying Pokemon there, Dondozo. But Quaquaval is so good. It does get Rapid Spin, which is great. It does check both of King Gambit's stabs, which is great. It does get Bulk Up, that Aqua Step move, boosting your speed every time you use it. And then if you get a kill with it, you get that Moxie boost, so you get a Dragon Dance. It's one of the best actual late game sweepers in the game if you don't have an unaware user. That's why Dondozo, and that's, I mean, so this thing checks it, right? Both stabs, but it does get Brave Bird. It does get Ice Spinner, so it can hit things like the grass types and the ground types with Water Absorb. So it can definitely sweep you very easily, you guys. It gets Roost, Rapid Spin, and really cool tech there. So Bulk Up, like I said, is there. I don't know if it gets Swords Dance, but we'll just go with, does it get Swords Dance? I don't think so. Quaquaval. Swords Dance. No, there's no way, right? No. It does. It gets Swords Dance and Aqua Jet. So lots of cool moves there, but you want to run Moxie with Bulk Up, right? So you get a little bit of defense boost, because after you get like, you don't need all that attack with a Moxie. You're just overkill at that point, unless you have something that's gonna stop it with Unaware. So low A tier, I think it's a perfect spot for it. I don't think it's, I mean, it's almost as good as Meowscarada and Skeledirge, you guys, but so are a lot of these other Pokemon. I'll put it at the bottom of A tier. I think it may be better than Walking Wake. I think it can definitely break through and sweep a lot. With the right set, this thing can sweep. I gotta put it in A tier. I think Quaquaval is really, really good competitively. Its design and its mannerisms are a no, but it is a yes competitively. And I think it's the only water fighting type. And I love that it gets Rapid Spin as well. You can even run AV on it, but such good like sweeping potential for Quaquaval in the back. So scary. I think it works really well with this guy here. I know they're both weak to Fairy, but if this guy goes down, usually things that kill this is able to come in and just click Aqua Step and it's over. That's why you got to keep your Dondozo healthy. Okay, Cinderace is, I think Cinderace is like almost the same as like Greninja. I think Cinderace may be a little bit better because Court Change is so good. It does need to usually run Boots, but if it doesn't have to run Boots, it can also run a Choice Band. It still gets Bulk Up and access to a lot of cool coverage, like U-Turn, High Jump Kick, Zen Headbutt, Gunk Shot, things like this. A Sucker Punch is so good. Loves to run Banded Pyro Ball and tear into a Fire type. That Oko's like everything. It hits extremely hard, but the U-Turn is there. And then of course the ability to reverse hazards with Court Change, so good. Libero got the nerf, but still a good Pokemon, you guys. Purifier is really good. There aren't too many fire type in the tier. Well, there are a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there are a few, but it's got a place. I think it's here to stay. I know you definitely couldn't see this Pokemon fall into UU. I think it would get banned to at least UUBL, but I'll put it right here, kind of by Iron Treads and Greninja. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I think it's a really good Pokemon. And I love its speed tier. It's one of the fastest, so you can come in, bluff something like an HJK or a Sucker or a Court Change, and you can just U-turn out, and you don't take any damage because of boots, and you're gonna outspeed everything. So great Pokemon. I love Cinderace. I think it's slightly better than Greninja right now, even though Greninja outspeeds. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think it's really cool. Lots of cool options. Didn't lose any tech except its ability to get nerfed. Okay, now both of these guys, King Gambit and Roaring Moon. I don't know if anything is going into D tier. Maybe these guys are D tier. I don't know, you guys. What goes into D tier? This? Is that true? Is that true? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I think King Gambit is S tier as well. I think Roaring Moon is high A, if not S tier. Yeah, S tier as well. Let's do this. Let's put Roaring Moon. I think these guys are both S, you guys. King Gambit is probably right here. Right above. King Gambit is the best late game sweeper in the game, I think, right now. Unless you have Dondozo with Unaware, you can check it pretty easily. But King Gambit there, with that ability, the Supreme Overlord ability, I think this Pokemon could get suspect tested to ban. So coming in as last Pokemon, it's doing almost what like Houndstone did last Pokemon Sweeper. Your attack is like up to like 600 without even boosting, and then once you like Swords Dance, you're like everything gets O-code. Like this is like the best check for it. Great Tusk and Corviknight. Very few things are able to check it. You do need to have like a fighting attack on Iron Valiant to stop this thing. But it loves to terrestrialize into a flying or a fairy type, and that's all you have to do. You can even fire type if it wants, but flying or fairy in the back with an SD, everything dies. It's a little slow, but I've seen a lot of people even running like Speedy on this guy to outspeed things like Corviknight. Like this thing can get up to like in the 200 speeds, but you always want to run Adamant, Sucker Punch, Kowtow Cleave, Iron Head, and either Swords Dance or Substitute. Or you can even drop one of the attacks for Substitute's a really good move. I still like to run that Razor Claw and Night Slash set where you get a 50% crit chance to crit through things that are trying to set up, like Dondozo, like Garganacl, anything that wants to start setting up defensively. Having a high crit chance is really good. This guy is one of those Pokemon that can do it with Night Slash and hit really hard. Definitely an S tier Pokemon, up here with the big bangers. Could be suspect tested, and probably the best Terrestrial user in the game, along with Garganacl. All these guys are great to let. You don't really have to terrestrialize Gholdengo, but you can to a dark or fighting, a normal CL, a flying type you're seeing quite often. Phenomenal Terra user. Good Terra user, you don't have to though. Phenomenal. Dragapult is a great Terra user. You can Ghost, you can Fairy, but Dragapult doesn't need to. Dragapult's there. Again, you can run like mixed sets, Dragon Dance, Life Orb, Specs, Band, Sub, Leftovers. You don't even have to, unless you want to, but the final Pokemon here, Roaring Moon. Is it better than Dragapult? It's up for debate. Dragapult, I mean, it just depends how you play him, right? Dragapult's faster, but not if you're a booster energy here, not if you're in the sun here, not if you're scarfed, not if you're Choice Band hits so hard with U-turn. This thing gets Roost and Taunt. 119 speed and 139 attack is no joke. Obviously, we all know the flying Terra variant with the booster energy, acrobatics, get that attack boost. Everything gets O-code after a Dragon Dance. Crunch, EQ is all you need. So, right, Fairy type Dragon Dance, Steel type Dragon Dance. Guys, this Pokemon is an offensive menace like Iron Valiant. These are two of the most offensive, scary threats. Of course, Pole is here, or King Gambit's there, but what can you say, guys? It can taunt you, it can be bulky, it gets great Spadef, it can just roost things off. But of course, it's really best used as an offensive sweeper or as a choice banded user with U-turn and outrage, and I think it gets scale shot as well. So what are you going to do when you see it on another team? You got to keep something healthy like Dondozo, something that's going to outspeed it like your Iron Valiant. You got to keep Corviknight healthy. You can't let your defensive walls get weakened, or else this guy's going to sweep you. You're going to want to maybe force them to terrestrialize something else, or else this guy can definitely sweep you with, especially that Terra Flying acrobatic set. So that's all for right now, you guys. I don't know about this. I don't know if anything goes in the D tier. Maybe I'm way off on this, but please comment. If you made it to the end of here, please comment. Let me know where I went wrong, where you think these other Pokemon should be, if you agree with any of this. But I think this is pretty close to where we should put it. Maybe this guy's even higher. Maybe he's even higher. Is he better than Gholdengo? Is he better than this? I don't know. Is he better than Great Tusk? And I don't think he's better than King Gambit. King Gambit's so good. And is Garganacl really that low? Is Garganacl really that low? Maybe it's like this. Maybe it's like this. Let's put it like that. That's what I'm going to say for right now. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. I love you so much. Thank you all for watching. Drop a like, please. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care. God bless.